whether you're collaborating on research, whether you're partnering on philanthropy or mentoring promising students who have a shot at universities such as Oxford or Cambridge or other top universities, it's all part of the big narrative. And to that end, I just say we're delighted to be joined by some really exceptional partners tonight. So the Christina Noble Children's Foundation are here, the Saigon Children's Charity are here. Damien, where are you? We'll go over that. Wonderful. OCRU, the Oxford University Clinical Research Unit, are here. And also Blue Dragon. You're here too. So that's a bit about what we're here for tonight. I'd also like to take the opportunity to welcome some very special guests. We're very honoured to have some representatives from the University of Oxford here, including Liesl Elder, the Chief Alumni Relations and Engagement and Development Officer from the University, Professor Miles Allen, who's a Professor of Geosystem Science. So if you have any questions about the climate or weather, he's your man. And David Seal, who is the Bursar of Linacre College, Oxford, who some of you may already know. I'd also like to say a few thank yous. Thank you to all of you, the association, for, I guess for one, for welcoming me so warmly to the group, and so energetically, and in particular to Lynn and to Philip, for your energy and enthusiasm around driving the agenda and the activities. I'd like to thank Lei, who's in my team, and who, without which I would have but who has coordinated tonight so beautifully and so perfectly. And then finally to Oxford University for your generosity. So the drinks you're drinking and the food you're eating is all kindly paid for by the University of Oxford's alumni programme. So thank you very, very much for that. I will pause there. I'm conscious I stand between you and food and drink. And frankly, between you and more exciting guests. So I'm going to pass over now to Liesl for a few words.
It's absolutely a pleasure to see all you. We have many hundreds of Oxford societies around the world, and it's just an absolute delight to be with all of you here in Vietnam today. We've taken this trip because we're traveling with Miles, who's doing some climate conferences and talking about carbon capture and storage and net zero and things. And we thought this is a perfect opportunity for us to piggyback on this and to spend some time in Singapore and to spend some time here in Vietnam, and also to visit some of our friends, our partners, and our clinical research unit, which is one of the jewels of Oxford and a particular jewel here in Vietnam. It's been in existence for more than 30 years now, doing some amazing work on infectious disease, tuberculosis, dengue, malaria, and in Oxford we're particularly proud this year about our successes with our malaria vaccine, which is the second ever vaccine to be proven effective against malaria, which is now being rolled out to millions of people, particularly in Africa. So, colleagues across medical sciences have worked on this, and just thank you all. And it's fantastic to have some time here visiting Guy and visiting our other friends here in Vietnam. We have it's a relatively small alumni community here in Vietnam, so we've got about 200 alums, but that's growing largely because we have some scholarship programs, and particularly based in Linacre College. So I just wondered if David might say a few words, because we're hoping that our alumni community will both help each other in terms of mentoring and networking, those sorts of things that alumni do, but also help encourage more people to be coming to Oxford and Cambridge. But particularly wanted to talk about this Oxford Scholarship Program, which is unique and special, and some opportunities. So if we could be encouraging some of the brightest to be coming, that would be wonderful. So David, can I hand over to you?
We are delighted that thanks to the generosity of a partner here in Vietnam, we now have a scholarship program based at my college, at Linacre College, for graduate students. This is available to students of any course that the university offers at a graduate level. We have some scholars already on that course from OCRU, but we're hoping very much to be broadening that out. We would love to see some historians, some archaeologists, as well as some scientists and maybe people studying business on that course. As I say, available at a graduate level, so that's a master's and a DPhil. And I guess what I'm looking to you, the alumni community, to do is to spread the word. It could not be easier to apply for one of these scholarships because you don't have to. You apply for your degree, you go through the university admissions process like everybody does, and then at the end of that process, if you are awarded a place and you've ticked the box that says you're a resident of Vietnam and you would like to be considered for a scholarship, then a magic algorithm somewhere within the university will identify you and it will pull you out as if, as I say, by magic, and identify that you are eligible to be considered for that scholarship. These are really generous scholarships. They cover the full fees, they cover a stipend at the UKRI rates, which last time I looked was just over £20,000. So this is a fantastic opportunity for anybody from Vietnam to be coming to the University of Oxford and Lincoln College. I guess secondly, I'm looking to the alumni community to be really welcoming when students have completed their degrees, to be helping them to maybe come back to Vietnam and to work here and contribute to furthering that spread and that message and spread of knowledge. So that's really all I have to say. Very happy to talk to anybody about this, but essentially there's around about 6 places on offer in most years at the moment, so get the word out and get people applying.
Hi everyone. I'm Philip. I'm the one that messaged you and emailed you to attend the meeting. So you see, I just want to ask if when you first applied for Oxford, did any of you ask yourself, am I good enough? We all did, right? I mean, it's Oxford. It's pretty selective. So we asked ourselves that question for months and repeatedly until we got that offer letter. And then eventually you got in, maybe it was first week, and you met all these new people who seems just smarter or maybe wealthier or just more eaten than you. And again, you ask yourself the same question, am I good enough? But look around you. I mean, you're currently at an Oxford alumni reception, so you did it. You all graduated by definition, and you got the answer to your question, which is yes, you are good enough. And you got that answer from the best university in the world, Cambridge, obviously. Joking aside, whatever the degree is from, it's still one hell of validation, right? Whether it's Oxford or Cambridge. And you needed some help, we all needed some help to get there. We have some wonderful mentors, each of us, whether they were academics or staff or fellow students perhaps. And the reason why I'm telling you all this is the 3 charities that we have here with us today, Saigon Children's Charity, Blue Dragon, and Christina Noble Children's Foundation. They support thousands of kids, underprivileged kids, who are asking the same question that we used to ask ourselves. Am I good enough? And they're not asking it because they're applying to Oxford, at least not yet. They're asking it because perhaps they grew up without a proper home, or without a parent, or without full ability. So I just hope that perhaps some of us here today, if we can volunteer some time, we could potentially give it back, or give it forward, pay it forward, and become the mentors to tell them that yes, you are good enough, and we could help you become the best version of yourself. On another note, I used to go to Lam Phong High School for the gifted, except not that gifted. Before my A-levels in the UK, so it was only for 1 year. And I have to say, back then, academically, some of my female classmates just absolutely kicked my ass. And still do. And unfortunately, I'm here today, and some of them, although they are far more deserving of getting to Oxford than me, are unfortunately not here today. So, whether that's due to maybe parents overprotecting us, or maybe because of some social biases, unfortunately, they just didn't get the same opportunities that I got. And even now, when I talk to them, they still have to experience certain social conformities that I don't. So I just think that education crucial for breaking down these social barriers. And scholarships such as the one from Lineker coming up, it's actually quite important to break down gender inequality as well, even though it's not female exclusive. Because I know for certain that as long as scholarships are promoted fairly and widely enough, perhaps with the help of some of the female alumni here to tell their own story to inspire the next generations of women to apply for Oxbridge, I have no doubt that there will be as many women to secure the scholarship as men. Perhaps
In the room, and it's wonderful to see so many of our women alumni. I just wanted to point out that both Oxford and Cambridge are run by women. And also, there are a number of us, females, who serve on the senior leadership teams for both universities, and it's a place where women really can thrive. So I would encourage you to share that news with all people who are thinking about potentially coming to Oxford as a place where you can really be successful regardless of your background. And I think at that point we should have some wine and some drinks and some canapes and enjoy our company. Thank you all for coming.
I'm an Oxford alumni and traveling scholar, and having been an online COVID-19 doctor in 2021. As David, Philip, and Rob Pian, I also volunteered to be with this networking reception in last year. So we can see the representation of many women at Oxford and Cambridge alumni in this event. It has highlighted the women's empowerment which allow us to study at the best university in the world, to make life-determining decisions and to persuade others to decide goals or other goals. So my background is also starting from an underprivileged family, and I say to myself, the only thing that can help me to improve my condition is education. So with interest, I follow my dream, and I have so lucky to have many great people who always help me and support me. He's Associate Professor Louis Rice, he's my first supervisor always. And in the last few years, to disadvantaged children in Vietnam, we are here to support you, and I hope that this reception to make the children who are from disadvantaged background can have more better life and be kind in your dreams, so you will come to someday. And hope all of you will have a great evening. Just last one, because I take this mission from Miss Win Wing, who is a former elected president of the Vox in Oxford. And so before the speech session ends, there's a message to David and Philip from Australia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Win, and I volunteer to help organize the first Oxbridge Alumni Drink Reception in 2021. On a hot summer day, I was contacted out of the blue by David and Philip to share my experience of organizing the first event. I think I was quite lucky to not trip over a snake or crocodile while rushing home to keep up with their volunteering pace. I'm in Queensland after all, and inspired by David and Philip's passion for making a difference, I have already contacted Serum Charity to volunteer to help with any online activity that can help empower children from underprivileged backgrounds. After seeing some of the society outputs for the first event, I'm so happy and grateful to know the British Council General has continued to Oxford. And I hope this can become an annual event and a movement of Oxford alumni in Vietnam. Last but not least, I'd like to thank David and Philip for their hard work, especially Philip for doing most of the operational tasks. And as a Vietnamese woman, I really appreciate that Philip keeps highlighting to me the fairness that his Vietnamese female friends experience purely because of their gender. And I feel grateful that people want to do something to address this gender inequality issue. And having seen the energy and efforts they put in, as well as the headaches that Philip and David went through because of some misunderstandings about their good intention. So I'm so impressed by their tenacity to move things forward. And let's not forget David and Philip are also young themselves, born in 1994, and they would also appreciate mentorship from more senior members. So I wish you all an enjoyable evening. Thảo Nguyên Nguyễn, former elected president of the Vox in Oxford. So give a big applause for David.
you.